Hello, Nadine.
Hey, Donna, how you doing?
It's been a while, once again.
We keep saying that. We gotta nail
Yeah,
this
that's
down.
okay. Yeah, we need to be more consistent. But in the meantime,
hi everybody out there.
hi.
We're going to do this podcast.
Yeah, so we've been uploading some of our videos as just audio only onto our podcast channel, which is called Teach People How to Treat You, same as our video channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
But this is our very first audio only recording. So you don't see us in our sweatpants
and ponytails and no makeup.
No makeup. You've got nice makeup though right now. You got your jewelry on. And we're drinking coffee and we're just together here up north. And we thought, why don't we just do this little recording here? And today's topic is, and I love this, and I'm going to let you say what it is because you came up with the term.
I did come up with
brand new
term. If anybody says it out loud, I'm going to say you were totally like listening in on my phone.
Absolutely.
AI.
We are going to copyright this and go for it. Go say, what is this new term you've come up with?
Tweeniors.
A tweenior.
We're tweeniors.
We are tweeniors. I love it. It is fabulous. And it is so true. And it's the perfect way to describe you and I and many more just like us. And so we were trying to figure out how do we really describe what a tweenior is? We're trying to come up with an age range.
Yeah.
But why don't we start with the philosophy behind being a tweenior?
So you know how the word even came to my mind because there is a term out there when you got a 12-year-old child that's going into their teen years, and they call them tweens.
Yes.
So that's how I came up with it. I'm sitting around, I'm having lunch one day with some girlfriends, and like we were just talking, it wasn't a situation where not one of us didn't complain about health issues, aches and pains, challenges, physical challenges, this kind of stuff. And I went, oh my God. But in my head, I'm 17 years old and I'm saying, hey, let's get in the car and go to Montreal and shut down Montreal because Montreal has last call at 4 a.m. Let's do it. Because I did that. I did that. I got in the car. Who needed ID in Montreal? They let 14-year-olds drink at the bar.
That's right.
Our parents we used to go on ski trips and our parents would say, we'll meet you in the lobby. And we'd be in the bar. Sitting there. Our feet weren't even touching the floor.
Because it's like Europe and North America there.
So I thought, I said, okay. And I said to the ladies, I said, you know what? We're all just a bunch of effing tweeniors.
Yeah.
And the mind has to find a way to merge between our senior years, which we're getting closer to, and some of us are there, and the mentality that we have in our heads. And it's not anything new. Like we've heard people our age talk a million times. Okay, you're as young as you feel. You're as young as you think. So I just wanted to come up with a name.
I love
we're
that.
Tweeniors, because in my head, I think if I say to myself, I'm a tweenior, that tween, the beginning of that goes, I can keep myself thinking young and acting young, but the body needs to catch up.
Right? Or go back. or regress or something. I agree with you on that one. And you think back to when you were 17, or that's where your mind is. I'm somewhere, I think, early to mid 20s, where I feel that's where my mindset still is. And if we refer back to one of our videos, was that the menopause one or the dating? No, it's about rev up your engines or start your engines, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So you can check that out on YouTube. And I think I might have put it in the podcast. I don't know. Anyway, but the point is, in that video, I touched on the fact that when I look at men through my 60-year-old eyes, yes, we're 60 now, we're going to say it, I still look at them as if I'm looking at them when I was 25, like through my 25-year-old eyes. And so when I look at people my age, they look older to me than what I would normally be attracted to. And it's kind of a conditioning where I have to remember I'm that age too now. And this is what happens. Our bodies do age, and we're going to look older, and men are going to look older. Everyone's going to look older. And the other thing too is when I look in the mirror, or I was struggling with my passport photo the other day, I told Nadine I had to 3 times I had to go, to get it done because I looked at them depending on the lighting of each one and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is what I look like now, you know, and I'm comparing it to the one,
by the way.
oh geez, thank you. But I'm comparing it to the one from 10 years ago and just thinking, oh my goodness, there's 10 years. But I don't feel any different in my head than when I was 50 or 40 or 30. You know, or even 20. Like, it's just, this is where I am. And I do want to mention one other thing. Years ago, Robin Roberts from Good Morning America did an experiment. Oh, I love her too. And this struck me, and it stayed with me clearly. She did an experiment where she had the makeup artist make her look older. And she put on some sort of a suit, like a rubber suit underneath her clothing to give her more of an aged body look of an older woman. And she went into society, like into the, you know, into town or whatever she was doing, just went about her daily life. And she saw how she was being treated differently because she was now an older woman. But the thing that struck her the most was that when she looked in the mirror and saw this face, this older face, she couldn't believe it was hers. Well, clearly it wasn't hers, but she looked at it and went, oh my goodness, I still feel like I'm younger. So that was the thing, right? She's looking at herself that she's now this 75, 80-year-old woman, but inside, of course, she was probably only in her 40s when she did it, maybe even younger. I don't remember. And I remember telling this to my mother, and my mother at the time would have been probably 70 years old, maybe younger, but she said, I feel the exact same thing. And I get that because I don't feel like I'm 60. But when I look in the mirror, I go, oh my God, I have. Like I see, you know, the bags under the eyes. I see the wrinkles, which I'm embracing. But I go, oh my goodness, like I feel so much younger. And you were saying you feel the same way with your whole physique. So let's talk about your physical body and how you still feel like, tell our listeners what you still feel that you could do. I love this.
I still feel... I have a gate that keeps the dogs out of the living room because I have a big dog and she doesn't realize that she's that much bigger than the little one. I don't want them on the couch.
Yes.
So I have this gate. And every time I come in and out of the kitchen into this room, I look at that gate and I say, I can hurdle this. I can jump this gate, no problem, either both feet or hurdling it. And let me tell you, I've tried it.
And how'd that end up?
No, not great. Not great. So I look at it, my mind is like, okay, we're going to do this. I go in there, the one leg is really good. And then I find myself physically helping myself to get the second leg over the gate. And that's the reminder that the body is saying, maybe not a great idea. But the reason I personally like the word tweenior is because subconscious mind is a big thing. The subconscious mind is like a furnace that fuels the conscious mind.
Yes.
So if I keep telling myself I'm a tweenier, because the beginning of the word is tween, that to me, that's a young
I love
mindset.
It. I think
that's
it's great.
Young way of looking at things. That's a young way of viewing, the world. That's a young way of me having a mindset of what I can accomplish. So I'm really believing that continuing to tell myself, you're a tweener is going to get me to the point where maybe my body will, hopefully, who knows? And not to say that I'm going to, try hurdling that gate every day, but maybe every day I'll get over it a little bit easier without having to aid myself.
Exactly. I love that. And that's the conditioning.
It's the conditioning of the brain. And that's why the word for me, and I hope, anybody else who uses it, it's the manifestation. Because, some people would say to me, well, there is a word for between 18 or 20 and 100. It's called an adult.
Yeah.
Well, but, I know. Okay. But adult is very stereotypical at this point. We're like adults. That's fine. And we are adults. But sometimes I don't want to,
But I love what you're saying because the mindset too, when you say someone's a senior, like I get the seniors discount. Right? We get the senior discount at different places now.
Yeah.
And so what comes with that, you're right. Like it actually made my heart feel a little weird calling us seniors, right? So I love tweeners and I'm going to adopt that and I'm going to tell people that. And I will give you full credit, Nadine, for coming up with that. And I think you are right. I think that's what we can do because, studies have shown that working out and working on your flexibility and, not going, you don't have to go over the top, hardcore with your fitness regime, but you can definitely stop the aging process, or at least bring it back a bit too, or not even at least, even more so, you can dial back a few things that may, be feeling the age. I'm talking about body parts and things, and
well, think about
that,
even just your morale or your mindset. So you say the word senior, I already felt like I just, my shoulders were dropping.
Yes.
And like, again, when you're sitting in a group of, of girlfriends or friends and you're talking about illnesses and aches, and I know that that's all part of life and reality, but you walk away from those get-togethers feeling, oh shit, man, am I ever old? And, did I take my meds and all that stuff? And so I can only speak to what subconsciously this is doing for me personally. It just makes me lighter.
Yes.
So I don't know what the long-term result is. Maybe nothing, but hopefully like giving me more energy, more of an upbeat way of seeing myself rather than saying I'm a senior.
Yeah.
Because I'm 60, or I'm in my senior years. I find that term limiting for me.
That's, perfect way to put it. Whereas to me, tweeniors, it's boundless, limitless.
Yeah.
There's still lots of promise and lots ahead, as opposed to, we're getting near the
all
end.
All of a sudden you shorten your lifespan.
Exactly. So there you go. So I say we're all tweeniors. And if you'd like to adopt that mentality, or that, I don't want to say label, that's not a good word, but
just terminology.
Terminology. Yeah, that's it. Terminology.
Let us know. We'd like to hear what you guys think of that word.
Our nomenclature. I love that word too. So so from a couple of tweeniors to all of you listening, you know what? Thank you very much for sticking with us. We're going to be more consistent moving on, and bye for now.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah.